Oh, so Disney lost $900 million at the box office, and now they want to switch things up. Well, it's too late, the damage has been done, and you absolutely love to see their downfall. Let's discuss.
I watch so you don't have to.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Disney CEO Bob Iger addressed future plans for the company on the Q3 2023 earnings call. In this call, the tone-deaf Bob Iger took the opportunity to reflect on some of their accomplishments this quarter. It should be noted that these calls are in reference to the entire company and not just the film division, so I can imagine other aspects of the business were prosperous, which is unfortunate, but hey, Rome wasn't destroyed in a day.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
A few achievements that Bob Iger highlighted included the company was completely restructured, restoring creativity to the center of business. Now I know I'm not an expert on these things because people tell me that quite frequently, but shouldn't creativity always be at the center of your business model when your job is to tell stories? And the fact that you had to restructure your company to accomplish this is very telling, I think. That's like Pizza Hut restructuring because they wanted to put the focus back on making pizza.
Wise man say forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for late pizza.
I love that all of these companies inadvertently confirm all our suspicions at some point. Like, how could anyone with any level of standards watch a Disney-produced film that's been released within the past few years and not come to the conclusion that they are phoning it in creatively? At least they are admitting it now, which is a big improvement over their employees blaming the consumer for their poor product. Basically, it's all our fault because our standards are just way too high.
Me, right?
You know, like the Secret Invasion director did just last week? It couldn't possibly be that that director made a boring-ass show that convolutes the MCU timeline and nobody gave a shit about. I guess the new Creativity First initiative was installed after Secret Invasion was produced. Bob Iger also announced changes in management to improve efficiency and to create a more cost-effective, coordinated, and streamlined approach to operations. This sounds a little bit like there was too many cooks in the kitchen. Maybe, just maybe, the filmmaking by committee approach isn't the best way to create films. Just saying. And can we take a moment to fully appreciate Disney's current push to be more cost-effective, and how that basically confirms that they created things like this when they were spending frivolously?
What the hell am I looking at? When does this happen in the movie?
I hope these cost-effective moves don't impact VFX workers, because I think they've taken enough abuse from you already. Oh, well, they just unionized, I guess. So do your worst, Disney, or at least try. These cost reductions, by the way, across the entire company are on track to exceed its initial goal of $5.5 billion in savings, which is ironically how much it costs to spend one night in the Star Wars hotel.
Nobody likes a smartass, alright?
As for Disney's film studios overall, Iger said that, quote, "We are focused on improving the quality of our films and on better economics, not just reducing the number of titles we release, but also the cost per title. And we're maximizing the full impact of our titles by embracing the multiple distribution windows at our disposal, enabling consumers to access our content in multiple ways." Wait, did he just admit that Disney productions lately have been garbage? Why else would you need to improve quality, Bob? And is he also admitting that the quantity over quality approach wasn't working? And throwing a bunch of money at an idea doesn't make it better? So this is what it feels like to be right. Wow, it feels pretty good.
Man, I'm tired of being right.
I have no doubt in my mind that Disney is going to make the push to distribute more of their content on streaming rather than in theaters. They are definitely going to be taking the Star Wars approach from now on. You see, on streaming you can hide how profitable something is or isn't, and who knows if those viewership numbers that they report are even accurate. On streaming you could spin the narrative and paint all of your productions as successes. You're not fooling anyone, Bob. We've seen this all before.
Bob! Bob!
He continued, quote, "By focusing on big franchise and tentpole films, we're able to generate interest in our existing library. We're seeing tremendous engagement on Disney Plus with the previous Guardians of the Galaxy films, the original Avatar, and the first 4 Indiana Jones movies. So outside of Guardians of the Galaxy, basically you're talking about movies that were not produced by Disney. Movies that were basically inherited by Disney through shady business practices.
Son of a bitch.
Further cementing that Disney does not have a creative soul on their large roster of employees. They just take comfort in the fact that they own all of these movies that everyone likes that they had no hand in creating themselves. You know what's different about those older Indiana Jones movies compared to what Disney produces now? Basically everything. Disney's issue for a while now is that they seem content on cashing in on established IPs. And when they try to cash in on them, they typically fail creatively and financially at bringing them back.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
It will always go back to the quality of your films. If you make something worthwhile, it increases the chances that people are going to want to watch it. That's why people are watching movies you didn't produce on your terrible streaming service. I mean, they have to watch something to get their money's worth. The bottom line is that Bob Iger is pretty terrible at his job, and nothing I heard coming out of this call changed my mind about that. Talk is cheap. Your actions over the next few years will tell me if you actually changed and if you actually learned anything. My guess is we'll be getting the same old Disney, hiring the same untalented people, and now forcing them to work with even smaller budgets.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
It's great that they realized they were spending too much money per project, because they were. But what they need to realize now is their real problem is a lack of inspiration and a lack of creativity. You can make all the changes you want, but in the end, if you don't have the right people in the right situation, telling the right stories, it will all be for nothing.
Don't bother.
That's how you change the perception of Disney as storytellers. Make movies because you have great ideas, not because you have a slot on your release calendar that you need to fill. That's how we end up with movies like Dial of Destiny and The Haunted Mansion. A little bit of inspiration goes a long way when creating films. I just have zero confidence that a company like Disney is capable of finding theirs again.
Y'all be cool. Right on.